Congress continues to bleed and hemorrhage. The great Congress exodus shows no signs of abating. I'm Barkha Dutt. You're with the Mojo story. Two more leaders of the Congress party have joined the exit from the party. This even on a day when Sonia Gandhi had the perfect photo op. But there was bad news for the party. Vijender Singh, the boxer, has already made headlines for leaving Rahul Gandhi's side to join the BJP. But there were others today who also hit the headlines for similar reasons. They did not end with Mr. Vijender Singh. We had two leaders of the Congress party, Gourav Vallabh, who till recently was one of the strongest advocates for the Congress party, today saying that he could not be attacking Sanatan Dharma and individual business leaders anymore. He joined the BJP, as you can see in those images. But we also had Sanjay Nirupam. Sanjay Nirupam is, of course, a leader of the Congress in Maharashtra. He was suspended, but he said that the Congress had thrown him out before he could resign. He called out the Congress for what he called arrogance and 5 centers of power. This is no longer happening in individual states. In Madhya Pradesh, the BJP is claiming that more than 16,000 Congress leaders and workers have joined the party. In Punjab, a state where the BJP is not even a player, not showing no signs of actually having a winning chance at forming the government, you've had two high-profile leaders, the Aam Aadmi Party's member of parliament switching sides to join the BJP, and the Congress's Ravneet Singh Bittu also joining the BJP. Why does the BJP, in fact, need these leaders from the Congress? Is it psychological warfare, or is it the Congressification of the BJP? Either way, the Congress is hemorrhaging. And to try and understand why and what's actually going on here, why is the BJP opening its doors to leaders it's once sparred with and condemned? Let's introduce our guests on the program today as we continue to look at the great Congress exodus. Welcoming to the program Dilip Cherian, who's an image and brand guru, but whose own brother-in-law has a story of someone who was with the Congress for many years and then switched to the BJP in Himachal Pradesh. And Dilip, I was seeing your tweet about that just hours ago. So welcome to the program. Asif Bhamla, senior leader of the BJP from Maharashtra, national spokesperson, is with us. Welcome. Maharashtra is one state where God knows Sanjay Nirupam could be heading your way. We don't know that yet. Anurag Naidu, political analyst based out of Karnataka, is with us. Typically a supporter of the Prime Minister and the government. What does he actually think or make of the fact that the BJP is so keen to take all of these leaders? We'll find out in a moment. And also, in a moment from now, we should have Tehseen Poonawalla with us. But let's get the ball rolling by playing out for you a statement that Sanjay Nirupam made, where he, as he's suspended, he says he was going to leave anyway, speaks about what he calls the 5 power centers in the Congress. Listen it.
अब पूछेंगे 5 पावर सेंटर कौन कौन से हैं, और पांचों के अपने कॉकस है, पांचों की अपनी लॉबी है, और पांचों की जो लॉबी है वो आपस में टकराती रहती है, एक दूसरे को मारने में लगी रहती है। और उसमें बहुत सारे लोग, हमारे जैसे लोग जो किसी भी लॉबी का कोई बाहरी हिस्सा नहीं है, वो अक्सर तकलीफ में रहते हैं। और मैं अकेला नहीं, ऐसे लाखों लोग हैं कांग्रेस पार्टी से जुड़े। तो जो 5 पावर सेंटर है उसमें सबसे पहले तो परमादरणीय सोनिया गांधी जी का एक पावर सेंटर है, उनके आसपास के लोग हैं। दूसरे आदरणीय राहुल गांधी जी का भी एक अपना पावर सेंटर है, उनके आसपास भी एक कोटरी है जो अपनी दुकान चलाता रहता है। फिर बहन जी की भी एक अपनी कोटरी है, वो अपने ढंग से एक्सर्ट करती रहती हैं, अपना पावर एक्सर्ट करती रहती हैं। अध्यक्ष महोदय हैं, उनका भी एक पावर सेंटर बन गया है। उनके आसपास जो लोग हैं वहाँ तो ऐसे ऐसे लोग हैं जिनके पास कोई राजनीतिक अनुभव नहीं, कोई राजनीतिक आधार नहीं, अचानक उनके साथ जुड़ के वो हाईकमान बन गए और इस तरह की बातें करते, इस तरह की भाषा का इस्तेमाल करते जो मैं आपके सामने यहाँ प्रस्तुत नहीं कर सकता। और आखिरी एक जो पावर सेंटर है जनरल सेक्रेटरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का, वेणुगोपाल जी का, वो भी एक पावर सेंटर बना हुआ है भाई। वो भी अपने ढंग से अपनी राजनीति करते रहते हैं। जब हिंदी बोलते समझ में नहीं आता, अंग्रेजी बोलते समझ में नहीं आता, मलयाली हमको समझ में नहीं आता है। एक ऐसा आदमी पिछले इतने वर्षों से बैठा हुआ है और संगठन लगातार गर्त में जा रहा है, संगठन लगातार बुरे खराब दौर में, खराब हाल में। तो एक कांग्रेस पार्टी में जो ये टकराव चल रहा है लॉबियों का, उसकी वजह से कांग्रेस के बाकी राज्यों में बैठे जो लीडरशिप है, जो मेरिटोरियस लोग हैं, जो योग्य लोग हैं, उन लोगों का कष्ट बढ़ता चला जा रहा है। और मैं पिछले 4-5 वर्षों में इसको बड़ी गंभीरता से मैंने महसूस किया है, लेकिन मैं धीरज रख रहा था। आखिरकार धीरज टूट गया, बांध टूटा धीरज का, और उसके बाद जो सामने आया वो सब आपके समक्ष है। तो ये जो वैचारिक स्तर पर जो एक द्वंद्व चल रहा है पार्टी में, उसकी वजह से बड़े पैमाने पर कार्यकर्ताओं के अंदर एक निराशा और नाराजगी बनी हुई है। और अगर यूं ही चलता रहा तो आगे जाकर धीरे धीरे बहुत कुछ खत्म हो जाएगा, बिगड़ जाएगा, मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है।
Okay, we have Sanjay Nirupam there talking about what he calls the arrogance of the party and the 5 power centers within the party. Tehseen is with us, so I think it's only fair that I start with you. You're also from Maharashtra. You continue to support the Congress party. Do you have any empathy for what Sanjay Nirupam is actually saying today when he talks about the 5 power centers? Of course, he's very upset about Mumbai Northwest. That's a seat he wanted to contest. He argues against why the Uddhav Sena got to dictate terms. He argues against why the son of an Eknath Shinde Sena leader has been fielded by Uddhav Thackeray there. He calls out KC Venugopal, but he doesn't actually spare the Gandhis either, whom you constantly support. Do you have any empathy for Sanjay Nirupam? What do you make of his statements? And of course, there's the larger great Congress exodus that we're looking at today. Tehseen.
So if you're specifically asking me about Sanjay, yes, of course I have empathy. I do agree to most of what he said. We've spoken about it, you and I, Barkha. And I don't think Sanjay was the most dynamic leader Congress had, but he left Shiv Sena, he came to Congress, he was a Congress leader. How can, if conversation is going on with Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray group, they declare seats? I said this on your show last time. What is their locus in declaring seats? And I find it extremely, Asif, if you can, I'm getting extremely disturbed, Asif. Sorry, it's just the voice is coming. Sorry, that's why I slowed down. So if you can just think about the Congress party right now, the Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray group that does not have a party, does not have a symbol, is dominating the party, the Congress. The Congress is the biggest party in Maharashtra in opposition. It was born in Bombay and Pune, and the Shiv Sena is calling the shots. Who's the Shiv Sena? Really, who's the Shiv Sena? Who are they? I'm very honest. I sound brute, but why? Mr. Pawar, as per reports, is closing up to Prithviraj Chauhan. Or Prithviraj Chauhan is closing up to Mr. Pawar. Why? Who has destroyed the Congress in Western Maharashtra? The Pawars. I've repeatedly, none of this what I'm telling you, Barkha, you will bear testimonies. I'm saying it today. I've said this repeatedly to you. How long will they continue to destroy the Congress? And you have to call it full stop. The problem is we don't have an Ahmed Patel anymore. That's the problem, Barkha. We don't have an Ahmed Patel who will pick up the phone. And those who actually who can do it, they don't want them to do it. They are living in a parallel universe, this coterie around. It's now mind-boggling, and they don't realize who the people are. So today a spokesperson is also left. Who chad out this spokesperson and made him such a big star? Who chad out him?
You're talking about Gourav Vallabh.
Yeah. Who gave him two tickets? I have nothing against Gourav.
Who today said, "Mujhe roz bola jata hai to attack Sanatan Dharm, to attack individual leaders, so I can't do it."
Now, this same guy, in his Rajasthan election, said Modi is 70 years old, Modi is scared, unhone dawai kha li, ye kha li. See, Gaurav's a great spokesperson. He was a very good spokesperson to Congress. But you gave him 2 tickets from 2 different states. He lost both the elections. Who asked you to give so much? And then after the person lost, why can't you identify people, loyalists? How can you be so out of touch with reality? So Gourav was extremely talented as spokesperson. You could have used him there. Now, there is a massive problem. You've got to accept that the party is having a problem. And rather than addressing these problems, the party is allowing itself to be dominated by those smaller groups that want to walk over the party. I'm again saying, let me come back to Maharashtra. The Shiv Sena has no base. It's lost its core voter. And the Congress on a platter is giving its base to the Shiv Sena. And believe you me, the Congress will regret this in Maharashtra. Maharashtra is where the Congress is born.
Who is singularly? I need to open this, but who do you singularly blame in the Congress for this? Sanjay Nirupam blamed 5 different power centers. Sonia Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, KC Venugopal, and Mallikarjun Kharge. Who do you blame?
You have to come down to one. So the Congress doesn't have an Ahmed Patel anymore. it simply doesn't have an Ahmed Patel anymore. Somebody who could actually pick up the phone and solve the issues. If need be, sit on a flight, sit in a bus, go there and solve the issues. You don't have an Ahmed Patel. The BJP has an Amit Shah, a Nadda, a Bhupinder Yadav. The Congress doesn't have it. Those who think they are playing the role of Ahmed Patel cannot win elections from their state, are making terrible statements about people, have been the reason why the Congress is destroyed, and see themselves as chief ministers, where they won't even win basic corporation elections. That's the problem. That is the problem.
Okay.
With the Congress.
Before I come
Remember,
to
Ahmed
Asif
Patel
Bhamla,
could win Lok Sabha elections. Remember, Ahmed
Yeah.
Patel could win Lok Sabha elections.
Okay, Dilip Cherian first, because Dilip is not just a political analyst and understands everything about political communication, but Dilip, you've observed this in your own family. You saw somebody who was with the Congress for many years and got disillusioned, went across to the BJP and did very successfully in the recent elections in Himachal Pradesh. You tweeted about how happy you felt for Mr. Harsh Mahajan, your brother-in-law. But the larger picture, there must be so many Harsh Mahajans, and that's the point Tehseen is making.
I think that the point that Tehseen is making needs to be buttressed in one specific area. Every state has a tragic story. Harsh's departure from the Congress was based on local Himachal issues. The fact that you have a mother and son duo there who are actually running riot and attempting to make themselves bigger than they are is really the reason why Harsh decided to call it quits. I think that there are similar issues in multiple state organizations. And I think that this all stems from the fact that there is no unified leadership, which is 24/7, taking political wisdom from people smarter than themselves. So I've said three things here. 24/7 leadership, willing to take advice from people smarter than themselves, and having the right kind of people within that coterie who can and will work with the state leadership. I think unless these three things are brought about, you are watching a one-way decline of the Congress party. But Barkha, the more dangerous thing is to follow. The more dangerous thing is that if the Congress does maintain or retain some vote share, the same coterie will believe that it doesn't matter who leaves the party, we will carry on and we are going to do even better. So that misbelief is an even more dangerous consequence for elections 2024, which is what you've titled your show as.
Before I go to Asif Bhamla on this, Dilip, why do you think, okay, the Congress has its own problems, every state has a tragic story. In the case of your brother-in-law, there were a mother-son duo. You're obviously talking about Vijender Singh's family that thought themselves to be larger than life. Every state has camps like this. I take your point, but why does the BJP need some of these people? I don't mean, of course, Harsh Mahajan, but I mean, why does the BJP today want to take in a Gourav Vallabh, whom Tehseen argues could not win even when he was given the opportunity? Why do you think that's happening, or do you think that is psychological warfare?
There are three elements to this. One, psychological warfare. Second, the BJP recognizes that despite the fact that it has a election machine that can relentlessly win elections, it is based on a structure which is top down and completely no questions asked. Because it recognizes that it needs to inject live political bacteria of a certain kind into its body politic to prepare for a state of affairs post 2024. It is preparing for that. Number three, it knows that it can actually control and completely manipulate those who are joining the party. Many have had to wait, and you know the number of people who've had to wait for 1 year, 2 years after they joined the party before they get any role whatsoever. My brother-in-law is a happy exception, but let me tell you that 80% of those who join today will have a waiting period during which time their patience will be tested, Their skills will be tested and their political usability will be tested. They will not be rewarded otherwise. And that is because the BJP has a fairly robust system of assessing the usefulness of any candidate.
We're seeing pictures from, on our screen there. Yes, of your brother-in-law, Harsh Mahajan. And, you spoke about how maybe if things had been run differently in the Congress, it's all now water under the bridge, he may not have left. But I want you to just speak a little bit. Can we go back to those pictures, please? I want you to speak a little bit about, what makes an old-time congressman leave?
As I said, old-time congressmen are always reluctant to leave. They have an ideological fit with the Congress. But when personality types who are encouraged or who are not reined in run amok, whether it is in Rajasthan, whether it is in Punjab, whether it is in Madhya Pradesh, where 16,000 people are supposed to have left, the fact is that the local satraps run crazy, especially at a time when the central organization is not smart enough to have ears on the ground and be able to respond, as I said, on a 24/7 basis. Tehseen spoke several times about Ahmed Patel. The fact is that you cannot get people like that. You have to create and spot talent of that quality. Is that talent spotting happening? The fact is that it is not.
Tehseen, we forget today that Asif Bhamla was also once with the Congress. I'm sure he'll have his own story on why he switched. So this is actually going to be a personal account for him. Tehseen, one sentence, because Mr. Bhamla and Anurag have really been waiting.
Yeah. Sorry, I apologize to both of them, but two things. I'm really, I agree with what Dilip said. In fact, I'm petrified with what Dilip says. It's not that they retain the same vote percentage. God forbid they get a few more seats. It will appear as if Modi lost the election or hum jeet gaye. And I'm not kidding. The arrogance of the people running it. Barkha, Rahul will tell you कि ये होना चाहिए. They, वो उनके पिए के पिए ऐसे behave करते हैं जैसे कि मतलब it's astounding. Which, and I'm not about me. I'm nobody. I'm talking about MPs who tell me etc. It is astounding the arrogance with which they are. But also, all of that. If you can win an election, that's good. They are surrendering to people like Uddhav Thackeray and Aditya Thackeray who didn't know their MLAs went away. So they are actually, this domination is only within that little circle. If you are actually dominating like how Modi and Amit Shah are, that it dominate everyone else in alliance, at least there's some faida of it. What are they doing? They're dominating those who can't do anything, but actually surrendering meekly to, in this case, to the Shiv Sena doesn't have an organization. Can you imagine how cut off it is? One. And I'll tell you the next point and then let the others speak.
Okay, yeah, let the others speak. Asif Bhamla, it suddenly occurred to me midway during the show that we introduced Mr. Bhamla as a national spokesperson, but he himself on this kind of program has a personal story. You were till not so long ago a congressman, much like Dilip described Harsh Mahajan in Himachal Pradesh, spoke about rival camps, local satraps who can run crazy. I'm sure you had your own experience. So before you give the BJP's perspective on why the BJP wants these fellows, what made someone like you switch?
I was born in the Congress where I was a students' union leader and I was barely 19. And I remember the late Dutt Sahab who brought me into politics. He's been my mentor. And of course, I was, आपकी काबिलियत ही कभी-कभी आपका, आपकी हार का कारण बन जाती है. And that's what I realized. Though Mr. Dutt was very fond of me, he really wanted, but of course the local leaders here, I don't want to name, they themselves showed that they were very loyal with the Congress, and today they have left the Congress and they have joined the NCP. I don't know if I don't want to relate to anybody by naming or shaming anybody, but I'm sure the message is there. Because of them, I was not given a ticket, and then I had to apparently join the Nationalist Congress Party, and then I fought an election for a corporation. Then I joined and then I had to fight the election of an MLA also from the NCP. So apparently, then I realized that even NCP में भी वही कुछ एक ही किस्म का कुछ ज़्यादा कुछ अंतर नहीं है वहाँ भी इसी किस्म का सब चल रहा था जद्दोजहद. And then I said चलिए then I suddenly got a reference from Devendra ji and the BJP. So I said, let me go here. But I think I'm doing fine here, and but things are a little better off. We know what we are cut off for, so we know what we have to do, and we don't have to get much into other areas where we are not deputed to. Coming back to this image, for that, I think
Yeah.
we should sit on a separate story, because that's my personal story with the Congress, which I would exhibit when I mean the phases in which I went through, because Congress was something which was very embedded in us. We grew up in that ecosystem. But anyways, one have
But
to
now
move
tell
ahead to
me,
the.
speaking as a BJP spokesperson and leader, why does your party want these people? I understand why the Congress can't hold on to them. I understand in Himachal Pradesh, Harsh Mahajan successfully solidifies his political future. But there are others who have been taken in other states who may not necessarily bring electoral value. Is this psychological warfare, as Dilip Cherian says? What is it?
देखिए पहले तो मैं ये बताना चाह रहा हूँ आधा काम तो मेरा तहसीन ने ही कर दिया बिकॉज ही स्पोक आई मीन इट लुक लाइक एज दो he's echoing our voice only, so thank you for that, Tehseen. But having come back to what you're saying, the party has if you're talking about the position in which the Congress is, it's purely because of the way it has been dealing with. Now, Tehseen mentioned Ahmed Patel, so you have to carve another Ahmed Patel. Now he's gone. I mean, he's no more. We're all his well-wishers. I've
But
also
that's the
been.
Congress. Why do you want these people? Why do you
देखिए,
want?
yes, okay.
Why
So
do you
I'm going to
want
answer
Gaurav?
that. भारतीय
Why do
जनता
you want
पार्टी. Yes.
Gaurav Vallabh Pant, who was one of
Yeah.
the fiercest critics of the
Okay.
Prime Minister? I want to understand this. Why do you
All
want
right, okay. Let me submit. I understand. Bharatiya Janata Party is the largest, the tallest political party from the memberships, in terms of members, in terms of leader. Today, not alone in India and in the world, is something you accept that, right? But यदि कोई आना चाह रहा है खुद अपनी इच्छा से, और एक जिसको अनुभव है, जिसे वहां न्याय नहीं मिला, और अगर हमारे साथ जुड़ना चाह रहा है और जुड़कर, अभी जैसे संजय निरुपम है, अभी आप कुछ लोगों के लिए तो कहते हो कि भाई जिन लोगों का आप वॉशिंग मशीन के लिए लेते हो, अब अभी गौरव वल्लभ के लिए आप क्या कहोगे, मिलिंद देवरा के लिए क्या कहोगे? तो ऐसे भी अच्छे लोग हैं जो जो गुणवान व्यक्ति है.
Asif sir, someone in the live stream says everyone's entitled to look for their future. Barkha, you switched companies, they're telling me, to have a better future. The Congress is a directionless ship run by a clueless captain. Right now, this is coming in our live stream, and I'm sure Tehseen will have things to say about it. But Anurag, as someone
No,
who supports the
I need to submit.
Okay.
I need to submit.
Okay.
I've not completed Barkha my points yet. I mean,
Okay.
I didn't
Okay.
get
Go ahead.
a fair chance compared to the others.
Go
So
ahead. Go
what
ahead.
I'm trying to say is that the people are seeing कि ये जो गठबंधन है, give me a little fair time because I have not submitted at all. The people that are seeing this are seeing that ये क्या गठबंधन है या विगठबंधन है. There are many aspects. अगर आप वो देखें रामलीला मैदान की जो रैली है, उसमें सारे नेता बैठे थे जरूर एक मंच पे, लेकिन क्या वो एक दूसरे के साथ और समर्थन में? अगर आप देखें तो वहां पर सीपीआई बैठा था, लेकिन सीपीआई वही राहुल गांधी के विरोध में है इन केरला. कमिंग बैक टू टीएमसी, वहां पे उनका प्रतिनिधित्व बैठा था, बट ही वाज अगेन they are opposing against the Congress tooth and nail like enemies in West Bengal, to the extent that they didn't even want to welcome or meet Rahul Gandhi when he was there at his yatra there. Third, if you see the Uddhav Thackeray fraction who was there very much on the dais, they totally disagree. They are staying there, they're sitting there on this, but they totally disagree on Savarkar.
Okay.
आर्टिकल 370 पे आपके. तो ये जो गठबंधन है, इससे लोग और पार्टी के नेता भी कंफ्यूज है कि हम क्या करें, किस दिशा में जाए. क्यों कि पार्टी ने अपनी एक निर्णायक भूमिका नहीं
Asif, now let me get
कहीं ना
Anurag.
कहीं
Sorry, so
वो
I
कम
don't
कर
mean
रही
to
है.
give you less time, but I want to get Anurag, who's also a supporter of the government at the center. Do you believe, as a supporter of the BJP is diluting itself in some ways by taking some of these leaders? Obviously, in some cases, there's electoral value. There's added value. It isn't just the leaders who are seeking a better future. It's also the BJP gaining something. But that's not evenly applied. Everyone's not a Harsh Mahajan in Himachal Pradesh. Anurag, and just unmute yourself at your end. You've muted yourself. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, Barkha. So, Barkha, it goes two ways. Yeah, sometimes the organization has to, like you said, political winnability, political accommodation is different. But I would say BJP is also more looking at organizational expansion. All these big people who are shifting, I can tell you some of the names who are billionaires, millionaires, who have been with several other parties. They are resources because party feels or BJP feels maybe not electorally, but I can use them somewhere else. They want to grow every look and corner. Like, there were memes saying that BJP is going to contest in Europe and America and all. If you ask a BJP leader today, why not? They would just say, why not? We may well go and contest. So that's the kind of a spirit that they bring in. So they want to grow every length and breadth. And also, let's understand, Barkha, there is a problem with Congress. Your leader should first have winnability for themselves. Now, look at Prime Minister Modi. One seat in Varanasi, he completely takes over the whole Hindi heartland. That's the kind of influence. But Rahul Gandhi lost twice. I mean, once. Again, he's going to lose one now. In Wayanad, he's dependent on the Muslim League and the local leaders. Again, not whole true blue Congress. So you have to build an organization, because you have to see the spectrum of leadership across India is increasing, and the parties have to offer them with their growing aspirations. BJP as a party.
I understand your point about bigger ambition, but I don't understand why it doesn't potentially lead to what Tehseen has sometimes called the congressification of the BJP. I think Tehseen's exact phrase, Tehseen, you want to just come in for a minute? I think you said the BJP is the new Congress.
The BJP is the new Congress. This election is between Congress Rahul Gandhi, Congress Modi.
Anurag, do you want to respond to that?
I would say it is BJP-fication of congressmen, because I'll tell you how it works. Because if it was a typical Congress, I'll give you one example, Barkha. Very recently, I was having a scheduled meeting with the General Secretary Organization of Andhra Pradesh, right? GVL was sitting outside waiting for a meeting, and he's a member of parliament also from Andhra Pradesh. The ticket distribution going on. I went for a scheduled meeting. The PA comes to the Organization Secretary's chamber, says, Sir, GVL better. The secretary says, kitna time hua? 5 minute hua, baithenge. So he will, so in Congress, what happens, if you're an MP or a minister, you walk through. I was at an organization, APVPs, one of the initiatives in Bangalore at the stage. The organization, only 4 people were sitting on the stage. Mr. Yedurappa was sitting down in the audience. Tejas Surya was on the 10th bench. So it doesn't happen in Congress. In Congress, the MP walks in and, takes over the stage, and everyone follows for the selfie. So BJP, it's a washing machine. I think it's washing machine for good. We need people to be in that washing machine so that, they start serve the organization, people, and then
the washing machine argument is a somewhat separate argument. I think but maybe it's connected. Dilip, I want to bring you in here. The Indian Express does a fantastic investigation, and we can show you that headline for just a moment, where it looks at how 25 opposition leaders who were facing corruption probe crossed over to the BJP, and 23 of them got reprieve. The opposition might argue that some people are leaving not because of the local satraps going crazy, as you called it, not because they're disillusioned with the coterie, but because they fear the ED, they fear the CBI. Is that a legitimate argument for the opposition to make, or is it, as Tehseen argues, an election between the Congress Modi and the Congress Rahul?
People leave for the 3 Fs: fear, frustration, or favor. So some leave out of fear, some leave out of sheer frustration, and some leave because they've been promised a favor. And I think that if you look at these 3 lollipops that the BJP is able to offer, then the number of takers is a very large number. You're looking at the people exiting from the Congress, but don't forget that there are exits from elsewhere too. Other parties too have had their people leave. So when you play with these 3 gigantic and, shall I say, extremely tasty lollipops, fear, favor, and frustration, then you're able to attract a whole bunch of people towards you by triggering those responses in the ones you are targeting.
I mean, I think that has to be the quote of the day, Tehseen. It's likely beating your election between Congress Modi and Congress Rahul. People leave for 3 Fs: fear, frustration, and favor. That's why Dilip is the guru of communication. But I want to bring you in, Tehseen. You wanted to come in, and then I'll go to Asif. We just lost Asif Bhamla. I'm sure he'll be back. Tehseen, go ahead.
Yeah, so just on 2 issues. The question that you were asking, Dilip, I want to go on that. Why is the BJP, or Anurag, why is the BJP taking so many people? Well, the BJP perhaps doesn't need to take so many people. It's doing it because today we're discussing Gourav Vallabh going, or whoever, Vijender going. Every day the BJP is setting the narrative. You see, in elections, if we weren't doing that, I would be discussing the economy. I would be discussing other issues. So the BJP is setting the narrative. It's also a psychological blow to the Congress, because every time the headline says the Congress is sinking ship. Now, there is a study that shows that voters like to back the party that is winning. Here, psychologically, Modi is talking, even to the RBI, in my next term, I'm going to do that. So Modi is talking about his next term. The parallel headlines is the Congress is sinking. Guess where the voter who's undecided is going to vote? Voters don't like their vote to be wasted. So it's a very strong psychological game. I don't think some of the people who are joining the BJP can offer anything to the BJP. I'm being very honest. I'm not running anybody down. The BJP has fantastic.
Can I read out a
spokespersons.
question? Can I read out a question to you? Prasad Duvuri, one of our Mojo members, says, Barkha, just like the mice play when the cat is away, when there is no strong leadership at the top, the minions take over. That is the tragedy of the Congress. Now, Tehseen, you make very good points, except that you only attack the minions, not the top. And some say that's disingenuous.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, RG will have to reflect within himself. I can't lie about or can't hide this anymore. I mean, in Mumbai, there was a lot of effort put for that rally. There was no need to bring up Shakti. I honestly say this, and I say this as a well-wisher of RG. I care really for him. I don't want anything from RG, and he knows it. He's a friend. I don't want anything. Why would he bring up Shakti? Honestly, and you allow the BJP to play on it. So why would you bring up Ram Mandir and say, aap Ram Ram karte raho? You can say the same thing really decently the way I say it on your shows. I say that, and it's the same thing I say. I say, well, Amit Shah ji's son is in BCCI. OAC's son is going to the best university. So Shivraj Singh Chauhan, aapko Angrezi nahi padha rahe. You don't have to bring in Ram. You see, you can make the same point differently, and that hurts a lot more. So at some point, RG also will have to figure out or go to somebody like Dilip and figure how to articulate your vision, because you see what the Prime Minister did with those influencers, and after that I did 2 podcasts, and those influencers were an off. Here is the 70-year-old guy speaking the lingo. Now, here is the man who comes from Gujarat, not very well versed with Hindi, not very well versed with English, but he made an effort. He must have practiced in front of the mirror, must have practiced in front of the teleprompter, whatever he did. The guy made an effort. Give him credit for it. Why can't we do it?
But I still have this question about ideological dilution and why the BJP in perception gets away with it. Before I take comments from Anurag and then we'll start taking closing comments, this is what Gourav Vallabh, completely on the other side till a few months ago, has to say about why he joins the BJP. Let me just play that.
मैंने जो हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष आदरणीय मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे साहब कांग्रेस के जो हैं जी, उनको एक पत्र लिख के मेरे दिल की सारी भावनाएं उसमें व्यक्त कर दी। मैं कांग्रेस पार्टी की चुप्पी, जब पार्टी के कुछ नेता, अलायंस के कुछ बड़े नेता सनातन का विरोध करते हैं, और उस समय हमारे पार्टी की चुप्पी से क्षुब्ध हूँ। मैं राम मंदिर में पे पार्टी के स्टैंड से क्षुब्ध हूँ, और मैं अर्थशास्त्र का प्रोफेसर हूँ। लिबरलाइजेशन, प्राइवेटाइजेशन, ग्लोबलाइजेशन जो डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह जी, पीवी नरसिम्हा राव साहब ने देश को दिया, आज पार्टी उसी चीजों का विरोध करती है। हम देश में वेल्थ क्रिएटर्स का सुबह शाम गालियां देते हैं उनको, जो बिजनेस करके रोजगार उत्पन्न करते हैं उनको गालियां देते हैं। जिस विनिवेश को कांग्रेस पार्टी लाई, उस विनिवेश का आज विरोध किया जा रहा है। तो मैं इन चीजों से क्षुब्ध था। मैंने पार्टी के प्लेटफॉर्म पे भी ये कई जगह बात उठाई, और मेरे विस्तार से ये सारी चीजें अपने पत्र में।
Okay, so Anurag, can I bring you? I don't, there is an assumption that the voter is a fool, or the voter is so jaded and so cynical that we live in post-ideology politics. This same Gourav Vallabh was the most vociferous critic. In fact, he did well as the Congress spokesperson because he was that vociferous a critic of the Prime Minister and his ideology. Today, he has reversed that on its head. Do you believe the BJP gains by taking known established critics? Is it a aha moment for the BJP? I mean, what do you make of it?
Well, I think it's a little tricky question, Barkha, because somebody like Gaurav taking what BJP has a lot to gain. I mean, Barkha, just 1 week back, I was starting on the road for this Prime Minister's mega rally, and I saw Kiran Kumar Reddy stuck in traffic, and nobody was giving way to him. He was the erstwhile Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, United Andhra Pradesh. He was a BJP. He was aspiring ticket for BJP, and he was waiting in the queue, stuck in traffic. So I mean, Gaurav is still a very, I would say, not a big leader, but what BJP is going to gain is they're going to send a message that we are an open party. Everyone who accepts our ideology, there's no ideology dilution, Barkha. Let's not call it ideology. Ideology dilution happens when the party says, Barkha, you come to my party and you exercise the kind of ideology you want to have it. We have given you all the freedom. BJP never says that. BJP says when you accept in our template and our ideology, only then you come. So you change your ideology. So far as you change, it is totally fine.
Right. But there's a funny comment for the Congress watchers. In our young days, Prasad says we had Big B. Then we had Mithun, who was called Garibo Ka Amitabh. Then we had Govinda, who was called Garibo Ka Mithun. Congress, the Congress has a similar parallel. There was Ahmed Patel. Now there's KC Venugopal and Randeep Surjewala. Yes, Anurag, do you want to come in on that?
One small, the misplaced priorities of Congress. I always wonder, Barkha, Maharashtra, one of the beautiful examples that you always discussed. They gave up to NCP all these years. Now they gave up to Shiv Sena, the place where Congress is traditionally strong. Even today they're strong. They have good vote bank. But they have given up, to Shiv Sena and NCP. But the place where they should have been soft, like West Bengal, they have been arrogant there and they're kicked out. They're arrogant in Uttar Pradesh. They say Rahul ji pure 80 seat jeet jayenge. They've kicked out. So I really don't know where they have to be soft. They are not. Where they have to be arrogant. I mean, like Tehseen said, maybe Mr. Gandhi should talk to Dilip and take some consultations. I think why not?
Yes, absolutely. But the point is that we don't know if Rahul Gandhi is open to a different point of view. That's something that a lot of Congress leaders say. Okay, I need to start taking last comments. Asif Bhamla, I'll start with you. I hope your signal is working. Go ahead, Mr. Bhamla. Can you hear me?
Yeah, so you see there are various stages in which the Congress in itself is confused. We know about what happened in Amethi. Today, Rahul ji is himself fighting from Wayanad, where if you see, the party is aligning with something like an SDPI or an PFI, which is officially banned. So you see, the problem is that जिसको आतंकवाद देश विरोधी गतिविधियों के लिए लोग जाते हैं, so people are not taking this. अगर आप देखो जो विज्ञापन कांग्रेस के अभी आ रहे हैं, उसमें ना सोनिया गांधी का फोटो है, ना उनके प्रेसिडेंट खरगे जी का फोटो है, ना राहुल जी का है, ना प्रियंका. तो क्या ये लोग खुद अपने तस्वीर या अपना प्रचार करने से या अपने चेहरे लोगों को दिखाने से भी कहीं ना कहीं डर रहे हैं क्या? ये मेरा सवाल है कांग्रेस को या कांग्रेस से समर्पित लोगों का. तो what I'm trying to say is that even if you ask for a place like Wayanad where he's fighting, I mean, जो आतंकवाद देश की जो गतिविधियों से जुड़े हुए हैं, तो राहुल जी जो मोहब्बत की जो दुकान जो जी वो बात कर रहे हैं, तो क्या वो हाथ क्या आतंकवादियों के साथ है? ये कहीं ना कहीं लोगों के मन में ये भ्रम है. And these are the things why people are also confused. You see कि कांग्रेस कुछ एक डेफिनेट गोल पर नहीं है. कांग्रेस का जो कंसिस्टेंसी लेवल होना चाहिए एज अ पार्टी, एज अ लीडर, वो कहीं ना कहीं मिसिंग लगता है लोगों को.
Let me bring in Tehseen on that.
Sorry, give me 2 minutes, 2 seconds. वो कहीं ना कहीं that connect is being missing, which is there very much in the forefront. You can see there Modi ji standing strong and tall, talking to everything. Answering. अब देखिए विजेंद्र जी, how is he left? So you saw him with Rahul Gandhi, and next day he's with us. तो आज ये तमाम गौरव वल्लभ, like you said, he was a staunch leader who was opposed our honorable prime minister, but आज उन्हें भी कहीं ना कहीं लगता है कि विकसित भारत के लिए एक नरेंद्र मोदी जी में ही वो लीडरशिप के अंश से नजर आ रहे, इसलिए
Yes, sir, I must interrupt. Now, Tehseen, my question to you is, even in Punjab, if we come out of these pictures and we look at Punjab, and then I'll give Dilip the closing word. Punjab is a state where the BJP is not actually in play as far as we know. The BJP's attempt to forge an alliance with the Akalis did not work. But even in Punjab, they're able to draw an Aam Aadmi party, their lone member of parliament switches to them. Ravneet Bittu, related to the Vijender Singh family, crosses over. Even in Punjab, what is actually going on?
So look at it as warfare and look at it as two camps, okay? Two camps fighting. My camp cannot hold on to their territories. And BJP, which is the opponent, is gaining new territories, or at least is attempting to gain it. So while I can't even defend my territories, and I am celebrating prematurely, BJP won't grow in Kerala, will get zero in Tamil Nadu, will get zero in Punjab, which may be true. The BJP will eventually, and I've said this on your show, start making an impact. 10 years ago, not long, did you, Barkha, think BJP would be forming a government in Assam? Or 10 years ago, they would be number two in West Bengal. It wasn't 10 years. It's just our lifetime. They are there. You think they won't get Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Punjab? They are moving in. What are we doing? We are giving our territory, and I'm talking if I was Congress, right away to people who spend their entire life and have a vested interest in destroying me. So, while the BJP celebrates anyone and everyone that comes, perhaps because it's a psychological blow, the Congress itself is not sure what its ideology is. Like on your show, an industrialist was being abused, who I had to step in and say no, who all his life has been a Congress, he and his father, who's been built because of the Congress.
You're talking about the Poonawallas.
You can take
I'm just referencing because the audience will not know who we're talking about. That even other Poonawalla who did, in my opinion, a stellar job during the pandemic, has come under attack by some supporters of the opposition, and Tehseen called that out.
Stop. We have to first understand, to fight a war, Barkha, we have to understand what is it that we are fighting for, what is it that we're standing for. And within that parameter, once we decided this is our parameter, you take a stand and say, we will not compromise on this. Then you win, lose. It's okay. People will stay with you because, okay, you lost on a cause, you will build up that cause. If anything and everything is accepted, if you're saying that the BJP is a washing machine, which, okay, I agree. Why is the Congress not a washing machine in Telangana taking all of BRS? Why is it not in Karnataka where it's doing this? So ultimately, we have to take a principled stand and say that these are the ideals we stand for. And come what may, whether we win or lose, we will stand by this. Number two, we have to stop being dependent on regional parties to win. We have to make ourselves stronger. What I said 5 years ago, the Congress would have followed. If these same people who are today around RG sir would not have been so hostile, you would have realized the Congress would have been in a much better position. Today, some of these people who are around RG sir can't even win a Rajya Sabha from their own state. They have to go to another state. That's the problem. How do me, a sitting Lok Sabha MP, have to go and have to bow down before them? One last thing, Anurag made a comment. There was an MLA MP sit outside BJP offices. Believe me, Anurag, even in Congress, they sit outside except the Congress General Secretary won't know who they are, some of them. And I can tell you, I took an MLA from a northeastern state कि ये independent MLA, इसको Congress join करना है. वो विधायक, वो General Secretary who destroyed the Congress in 2 states did not know that he's an MLA or who was not the MLA. That's how clueless they was. And okay, that MLA is a lefty Gyani.
Okay, let me give the last word to Dilip. Is the problem the absence of a clear ideology? Is it the absence of confidence or projected confidence? You know, today when the opposition tried to make the issue the arrest of Kejriwal and his aides, now Sanjay Singh is out. But Tehseen is perceptive in saying that one of the reasons to keep taking these imports from the Congress is that the headlines change and you control the narrative and the headlines flip. So maybe Mr. Vallabh won't really win any more seats for the BJP, but it does project the BJP as the winning side and voters like to choose the winning side. Last word to you, Dilip Cherian.
That's a great point. And I think from a communications point of view, it's a great technique that the BJP is using. And as long as what has been asserted on this program, that you don't allow any ideological dilution, which the RSS can ensure, you're okay. But I think the big question that hangs in elections 2024 is whether it is ideology or personalities. You have a huge towering personality like Modi winning elections, and the fact is that the opposition has only a crowd of pygmies. And that, I think, at this point in time, in this election, the public seems to want a presidential kind of voting, and that is going to be what decides this election.
Let's just pick up that last point just for a moment because the quote is so delicious. The opposition has a crowd of pygmies. Now, are you saying the opposition from within its crowd of pygmies, as you call them, should have still chosen a captain? Or do you think that given the crowd of pygmies, it's okay that they didn't? Delete very quickly.
Can't hear you, Barkha. Sorry.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
No, I've lost.
Okay, no problem. The Tehseen, do you want to take that? That the opposition is a crowd of pygmies? Should there still have been a captain of the ship? Or Anurag, you want to take that? Let's go to Anurag first. Maybe Dilip will rejoin.
They're not
Anurag?
Hang on,
that is Dilip's comments. Okay, one at a time. one at a time.
No
Anurag
problem.
first.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
one small point. The only exception, the fact is, but the pygmies are left to contest their own election and win for themselves. Except the fact that the leadership cannot win election for them. That's an unfortunate state of the opposition today.
Okay, I'll give the last word to you, Tehseen. Dilip Cherian said that people seem to be craving a de facto presidential format. And you've got a strong leader on the one side and the opposition is a crowd of pygmies. I'm quoting Dilip Cherian. This is not my words, on the other. Now, the dilemma then is, do you still choose a captain from a crowd of what Cherian says are pygmies?
But if you could not, first, I don't think they're pygmies. I think they are capable people. I think, in fact, Mr. Modi is not while he is the tallest leader in the country, I don't think Mr. Modi is the best prime minister we have. But the problem is that if you could not choose a prime minister, I understand the dilemma, you could have chosen a shadow cabinet. So it would have been Shashi Tharoor versus Jai Shankar. It could have been Akhilesh Yadav versus Amit Shah. You could have set up a debate and spurn up imagination. Yeah. We have not done it. Now, you can argue or disagree that Amit Shah is way better than Amit Shah ji is way better than Akhilesh Yadav. But imagine Amit Shah ji saying UCC hona chahiye, Akhilesh Yadav saying why UCC is actually anti-Hindu. Now, think about this, and you have a debate. Shashi Tharoor said Jai Shankar. It's phenomenal television also. So now you're cribbing, you don't have television space. You also get the television space by default. Correct. Because even who you call Bodhi media, how can they avoid it? You can't. That's how television works. So you get it. Now, you cannot play on the BJP strong point. Just because BJP is harping Modi, you can't say they are unfair. Cheating, they're cheating. No, change the rule of the game. Play another game so they are forced to play your game. But you don't want to do that. That's the problem, the lack of strategy. And this lack of strategy is again because people who are running the show have not or cannot win a society election. That is the problem. One more comment. Look, again, I go back to one thing. The prime minister will do whatever it takes to win an election, or the BJP will do whatever it takes to win an election. What is stopping us from doing whatever it takes to win an election? Why are we always finding faults with everybody in between? Media, the election commission, with everything. Rather than that, why don't we strategize, I think, use what we have? Even the ads that the BJP made are so creative. Look at the ads we've made. They're actually a little... for lack of another word, I was wondering what are these ads? So you can't. You have. I think before you
close, Mr. Bhamla has a brief interjection, and then Tehseen, you can have one sentence.
I just mentioned about the ad with Tehseen is taking further. Your ads that Congress have been making have no appearance of any of the leaders. This shows that they have lost the charm and the appeal. I mean, that's the fear. They just have the Hath Ka Panja. I saw 2-3 ads. I was myself amazed. You see, and like Tehseen himself has been saying about this. So there's a lot of introspection and big names, like you said, big optics, Kamal Nath, इतने बड़े leaders जिन्होंने बहुत सारे फायदे लिए कांग्रेस के राज में, जिन्होंने बहुत पैसा बनाया, संपत्ति बनाई, एक बड़े मकाम पाए. लेकिन आज जब पार्टी को जरूरत है तो they're not for the party, they're not with the party. But then again, उसमें कुछ कमी उनकी है. हमारा क्या दोष है? अगर हमारे साथ कोई आना चाह रहा है जो एक विश्व की सबसे बड़ी पार्टी है, नरेंद्र मोदी जी के विचार से अगर कोई...
Okay, we lost Mr. Bhamla there.
I'll give you a quotable quote.
Yeah, Tehseen, last word. Yeah,
I'll give you a quotable quote to end with. Yes. The Congress is exactly like India. A poor country with very rich people. The Congress is a poor party with very rich leaders. It's exactly. Therefore, I say the Congress is. And I don't mean this to all the nationalists in any disrespect. Please take this with a sense of humor.
It's on a lighter note. It's strictly on a lighter note. We don't want to trivialize.
Anurag start trolling us saying you called India poor. We are fifth largest economy. It's in a lighter note.
Okay, yeah, strictly on the lighter note, not to be taken seriously. Leaving it there, let's see what the headlines bring tomorrow. Another exodus, another exit. The Madhya Pradesh figures are really staggering. People haven't been paying attention. The BJP is claiming 16,000 Congress workers and leaders have actually moved across. The Congress places the number at 600, and even that, the official number is still pretty large. Leaving it there, Asif Bhamla, Tehseen Poonawalla, Anurag Naidu, and earlier to Dilip Cherian. Always a pleasure. To our audience. See you tomorrow. Thank you for watching.
Mojo Story has always made a commitment to its viewers to go to where the story is. And as you can see here, we are at the epicenter of the Israel war on Gaza. We are right at the front line, about 1 mile from the Gaza Strip, as the Israeli military gets ready with its tanks and its gunners to begin its final frontal assault that will take troops into Gaza. As we said, we are not like other organizations. We believe in giving you all sides of the story objectively and as much as possible from the ground. And that's exactly what we're doing here, covering the biggest global story today from the epicenter of the war zone. So please, we need your support. Support us, become a Mojo member, subscribe to us, spread the word, and thank you for your support.